let's do this sum. We'll finish this two and then we'll go to the second sum that was remaining. Determine the zero rates from the following data. So let's start doing it for bond A. A bond A is a zero coupon bond, and when it is a zero coupon bond, we don't use the formula that is market value is equals to present value of cash flow. Instead of that, we find the difference between the face value of the bond and the market value of the bond and get the gains. So let's do it the same way. First we write the face value of bond A. Face value is equal to 100. Market value, nothing but the bond price given in the last column, and that is 98. So if we minus both face value minus market value, we will get the gain. So 100 minus 98, 2 rupees is the gain. Okay, this 2 rupees gain is quarterly because here you see bond A has 0.25 years of maturity. 0.25 years means 3 months or quarterly. Okay, so if I want yearly gain, how many quarters in a year?
4.
4 quarters. So yearly gain would be 2 rupees is the gain per quarter into 4 quarters. So 2 into 4, which is equal to 8 rupees. So 8 rupees is your yearly gain. Now we can find the yield. That is nothing but the return. Okay, so the formula for yield is gain divided by market value into 100. Yearly gain divided by market value into 100. So yield is equals to yearly gain is 8 rupees divided by market value is 98 rupees into 100. See how much you get with 8.16.
8.16, ma'am.
Okay. So yield is 8.16, but this is not continuously compounded rate. We need to find the continuously compounded rate. So the next step is we have to find the value of R2. So R2 is equals to M into natural log of 1 plus R1 divided by N. Okay, then R2 is equals to M here is 4 because it is quarterly time period given. In a year there are 4 quarters. So 4 into natural log of 1 plus R1 is the value that you found out, that is 0.0816, 8.16% you got, divided by M, which is again 4. So if you calculate the value of R2, R2 will be equal to just check all of you once. Is it 8.07%? 0.087
Yes, ma'am. 8.07.
into 100, if you do it is 8.07. So R2 is equal to 8.07%. So this is the rate for the first bond, bond A, which was a zero coupon bond. No interest was given, zero interest. Therefore, we call it as a zero coupon bond. Let's do it now for bond B. Bond B also has no interest. If we look at the question here, These are the annual coupons which will tell us about the interest, whether the bond is giving or not giving. So for bond B also it is 0. So we'll use the same method of solving which we did for bond A. So first face value minus market value. Face value of bond B is 100 less market value 99. So the gain is 1 rupee. Now this gain is half yearly because the time for bond B is 0.5 years. So in half year he will gain 1 rupee. So yearly gain will be 1 rupee into how many half years in a year? 2,
2.
right? So we get 2 rupees yearly gain. Now we can find the yield. Yield is equal to 2 divided by, that is gain divided by the market value 99 into 100. First you need to divide and then you need to multiply it with 100. So how much
2.02, ma'am.
yield is equal to 2.02%. Now we'll find the R2 because this is not continuously compounded rate. So R2 is equal to M is 2 times here because the bond is half yearly, 2 half years in a year. So 2 into natural log of 1 plus R1. R1 is 0.0202, that is 2.2%. It is 2.2, right? Or 2.02
2.02, ma'am.
divided by M again, which is 2. So we calculate R2. Check how much you get. 2%.
Yes, ma'am. 2%.
0.02 into 100, R2 will be 2%. So this was about bond B, how the yield is found out for bond B. Now let's do for bond C. Let's see how it works for bond C. Bond C has a coupon that is interest rate of 5%. So we cannot do it the way how we did for zero coupon bonds. Now we have to use that equation, bond price is equal to present value of cash flows. So let's start doing it. First we'll write down what all is given. Bond C. Face value of the bond is 100. Then bond price or market value. Market value is 102. Market value is 102. Then the interest rate we'll find. Interest is 5% they're given. So 5% on the face value, 5% on face value, which is equal to face value is 100. So this 5 rupees. Okay, then they have said half the stated coupon has to be given in every 6 months. So this is yearly interest rate. If we want half yearly, rate will be 5 rupees divided by 2, that is half year's rate. So we get 2.5 as interest for every half year. Okay, and maturity period for bond C is 1 year. So in 1 year there are two half yearly periods. So we'll get the interest two times as well as we'll get the principal amount. So let's do using that equation. Bond price is equal to present value of cash flows. So that's here bond price is equal to bond price, we know it is 102. Bond price is nothing but the market value of the bond. So 102 is equal to, now we are going to receive 2.5 rupees interest every half yearly. In a year there are two half years. So first we'll receive 2.5 into e raised to rt. Here r will be the half yearly rate, and if you look at bond B's maturity is half year. So whatever rate we got for bond B, we can take that as the continuous compounded rate R2 value. So bond B, we have got the R2 value as 2%. So we can take R as 2% in solving this equation. So 2.5 into e raised to minus RT, so minus 0.02% into 6 by 12, because after 6 months we are giving this interest rate, plus next interest will be with the face value, that is the principal amount. So 102.5, 2.5 is the interest and 100 is the face value or the principal amount. So into e raised to minus e raised to minus r. We don't know the value of r for 1 year bond. This is 1 year bond for which we have to find HG. So into 12 by 12. So only two times in a year you're going to get the interest because the maturity of the bond is 1 year. Okay, let's solve now this equation. So 102 is equal to 2.5 into e raised to rt. If we solve it, we get it as 2.475. Just check if you're getting the same. Plus 102 into e raised to minus 1 r. Okay, because 1 year, 12 by 12 is 1, so it is 1 r. All of you are getting 2.475.
Yes, ma'am.
Hope there are no doubts and I'm clearly audible. Now 2.475, we'll take it that side, so it will become 102 minus 2.475, which is equal to 102 into e raised to minus 1r. So 102 minus 2.475, 99.525 divided by, we'll get that 102 this side, it is multiplication, it will become division, divided by 102 is equals to e raised to minus 1r. So if we divide, we get 101.9757. If we get that natural log e this side, it will become natural log. So natural log of 101.975 is equal to minus 1r. Check how much you get. Natural log of 101.975. 4.624. Okay, then if you get this minus 1 this side, it will become, just a second, I think something.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
ma'am, you not consider the 0.5 under the present value of cash flow. It is 102.5.
102.5.
5. Ma'am, right side.
Okay. Division 102.5 we have to make, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So 99.525 divided by 102.5, we get
0.9709.
0.9709, and we'll find the natural log of 0.9079. You get minus 0.0295. If we get that minus 1 in this side, it will become divided by minus 1 is equal to r. Minus minus sign will get cancelled. Anything divided by 1 will be the same. So the rate is 2.95%. All of you getting it? Into 100 if I do 2.95%. All of you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's do it for bond D. First we'll write the face value. 100. Market value 104. Interest rate is 9%. So on the face value 100 rupees, we'll calculate 9%, which is equal to 9 rupees. We need half yearly interest rate because we pay coupon every half yearly. So 9 divided by 2 if I do, I'll get the half yearly rate, which is 4.5 is the interest rate. Maturity of the bond is 1.5 years. So every half yearly if I pay interest, that means I have to pay 3 times, 6 months, 1 year and 1.5 year. 3 times in that particular bond I have to pay interest. So again we'll solve using the equation bond price is equals to present value of cash flows bond price is nothing but the market value of the bond, which is 104, is equal to 3 times you will get the interest rate. So first 4.5 times into e raised to minus, we have to see the rate of 0.5 bond, that is bond B had a maturity of 0.5 and the rate that we found was 2%. So e raised to minus 0.02 into 6 by 12 plus 4.5 into e raised to minus, now bond 1 we have found the year, for 1 year rate is 2.95, so 0.0295 into 12 divided by 12, which is nothing but 1 year, plus the third interest you're going to get with the principal amount. So we'll get 104.5. 104 is the face value or the principal amount into e raised to minus r. We don't know. For this we have to find r, and time is 18 months divided by 12, which is nothing but 1.5 years. So we'll start solving this. 104 is equals to the first 4.5 into that. If we do, we get 4.455. Just check one of you whether any other answer you're getting. Second time when you solve 4.5 into e raised to minus 0.0295 into 12 by 12, you get 4.369 plus the last one 104.5 into e raised to minus 1.5 r. 18 by 12 is 1.5. Okay. See, all of you are getting the same. .455 and 4.396. Any other answer anybody has got? So it will become 8.824. So 100 minus 8.824, which is equal to 104.5 into e raised to minus 1.5 r. 95.176 divided by, if I get that 104.5 this side, so divided by 104.5 is equal to e raised to 1.5 r. 95.176 divided by 104.5 . If you divide, you get 0. If we take e this side, it will become natural log. Natural log of 0.9107, which is equal to minus 1.5 r. So we'll find the natural log. Zero 0.9107. You get minus 0.0935 divided by minus 1.5 is equal to r minus r. Okay, minus minus will get cancelled and we'll get the value of r in the next step. So if you divide this 0.0935 divided by 1.5, you get 0.0623 into 100. If I do, it is 6.23%. Are all of you getting the same answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's do the next sum. I hope this problem is over. Okay, in the question they have told also find the forward rate and par yield. Just see here the question. Also find the forward rate and par yield. So let's do forward rate and par yield. How to find the forward rate? I had taught you in my previous class that formula. I don't know how many of you remember it. R1, R2, T1, T2, the same formula. That is the formula for forward rate. But for that we need the table and all that. So we'll create it. So now we are calculating the forward rate. Okay, in the question they used to give us the table of forward rate. Here we have found the rate, so we'll create the table. Okay, so just put it in the table form only. Maturity, and then we'll take the zero rates. Maturity of the bond 0.25, 0.51, and the last one was 1.5. Okay, all the four bonds A, B, C, D. Now we'll see the zero rates which we have found out while solving. So just see here, bond A, the rate is 8.07%. So we'll take that for bond A. Bond B, the rate is 2%. All these are our zero rates which we have found out. Bond C, it is 2.95%, which we have found. So take that in the table, and bond D is 6.23%. So I'll write all those rates here. 8.07 we got it for bond A, then 2% we got it for bond B, 2.94 we got it for bond C, and now we have done bond D, 6.23 we got it for bond D. So this, if you remember when we did forward rate sums, this table was given in the question and we were solving using that formula. Okay, so I'll just copy the formula from above. We have done many sums on forward rate. I hope all of you remember those sums. This is the formula. So we'll find forward rate. We can't do it for 0.25 because before that it's not there. We'll start from 0.5 only. So this is T2. Above one is T1. This is R2 2%, and R1 is 8.07%. RF is equals to R2. The rate we said is 2%. So 0.02, or we can just take 2 into the maturity. 2 into maturity is 0.5 years. That is T2 minus R1, which is 8.07%, into T1, which is 0.25 years, the whole divided by T2 minus T1, that is 0.5 minus 0.25. So if we solve this, you will get minus 4.07%. Just see, anybody got the answer?
Yes, ma'am. Minus 4.07.
Because here, the multiplication that we're doing, your T1 is very bigger number. It is 0.8.07, whereas T2 is only 2%. That's the reason there is a difference. Okay, then let's do RF. This we did it for half yearly, or you can say 0.5 maturity. RF for 1 year now will do. So now this 1 year will become T2, 0.5 will become T1, 2.94 will become R2, and 2% will become R1. So we'll use these values and find 2.94 into 1 minus 2 into 0.5 divided by T2 minus T1, that is 1 minus 0.5. So RF is equal to
3.88%, ma'am.
1.88%. Then RF for 1.5 years so 1.5 years will become T2, 1 year will become T1. Similarly, 6.23 will become R2 and 2.94 will become R1. So we'll put the values in the formula and solve. 1.5 into 6.23 is the rate, so 6.23 into 1.5 minus 2.94 into 1 divided by R2 minus T2 minus T1, that is 1.5 minus 1 year. RF is equals to 12.81. I have got just check.
Yes, ma'am. 12.81%.
So we solve the second part also. We found the forward rate. So in the question you can see above first they had said determine the zero rate. Done the zero rate determination. Then also find par yield and forward rate. We finished forward rate also. Now we'll go to par yield. Now the question is what is par yield and what are we going to calculate in that. Okay. Can anybody tell me the meaning of the word par? Shares are issued at par, they say, right? Par value. What is par value?
Equal to face value.
Correct. So here what we are going to find is we are going to find that rate of interest which will make the face value and the market value same. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? I have to make the market value equal to the face value. Whereas as of now, it is not like that. You saw the question, face value is 100 and market value is differing for each bond. So we have to equate these two, and par yield itself means the rate. So it is that rate which will make market value equal to face value. So we are going to put the equation. Now we are doing it from bond B. We are not doing it from bond A because the interest rates are paid half yearly. So we want 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. 0.25 is hardly 3 months, which we cannot find the par yield for because par yield is nothing but the interest rate, and the interest rate that we will find which will be paid half yearly. Okay, so I'm finding for bond B. So bond B The maturity is 0.5 years. Okay, as I told you, we have to do market value is equals to face value. Now, how to find the market value? Market value is nothing but the bond price, which we did above, right? Uh, pres- Bond price is equals to present value of cash flows. So we need to find the present value of cash flows, and we have to equate it with face value. Now the interest is paid every 6 months. So in half year there is only 1 6 month. That means the interest will be paid only once, plus the principal amount also will be paid at that time itself. So see here, listen carefully. I have to pay half yearly interest. I don't know the interest rate. I'm calling it as C. C is nothing but the coupon payment or interest payment. Usually in this chapter, since beginning we are using the coupon rate, which is nothing but interest rate. But the word coupon is used, so we're going to talk like that only. Now if I only take C, that is full year interest rate. But I want half yearly interest rate. So what I do, I have to do C divided by 2 to tell that it is half yearly interest rate. Okay, so because the maturity of the bond is also half year, I'm going to get interest only once, half year interest, plus the bond will mature in half year. So I'll receive my first interest as well as my principal amount. So this is the total which we are going to receive into e raised to minus RT if we have to find the present value of the bond. So into e raised to minus R value we have found out for 0.5 year bond, which is 2%, 0.02 into 6 by 12. So this is the market value of the bond. This part of the equation that I have solved or that I have written, this should be equal to the face value of the bond. So face value is 100. I'll repeat it again. We have to do market value equal to face value. Market value is nothing but the bond price. How do we calculate the bond price? When we did the zero rate, I had given the equation here. If you see, bond price is nothing but the present value of cash flows. So we are going to take the present value of cash flows and find at what interest rate, that is at what value of C is the interest rate, will the market value and the face value be equal. As of now they are not equal. Just see here in the question, I'll show you. Bond B, the face value is 100 but the market value is 99. I want both of them to be at par. That means face value also should be 100, market value also should be 100. So they are asking us at what rate or par yield. Yield is nothing but interest rate. At what rate will market value be equal to face value? So I have put the equation market value equal to face value, and how to find the market value by doing present value of cash flows. And because the bond B is only for 0.5 years, so only once I will receive the interest plus my principal amount. So interest I don't know, I have to find that only. So I'm writing C divided by 2, which is the interest rate that I'm going to get, plus 100 into e raised to minus RT. R we have found the zero rate for bond B, it was 2% into 6 by 12 is equals to 100. 100 is the face value. Any doubts with this equation? Once we solve this equation, we'll get the value of C. Anybody having any doubts with this equation? Should I start solving then? C by 2 plus 100 into e raised to minus 0.02 into 6 by 12. If you solve that, you will get 0.99. Just check one of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct, you're getting 0.02 into 6 by 12. Okay, so it is 0.99 is equal to 100. If I take this 0.99 that side, multiplication will become division. So I will have C by 2 plus 100 is equals to 100 divided by 0.99. How much you get?
One 101.01.
101.01.
Yes, ma'am.
And here we have plus 1 second. Missed out on certain things. Just 1 minute. First, we'll have to multiply this 0.99 with this bracket and then take it this side because it is C by 2 plus 100 into 0.99. So first we will multiply and then see what has to be taken on the other side. So if I do 0.99 into C by 2, it will become 0.99 C divided by 2 plus 0.99 into 100. If you do, you will get it as 99 is equal to 100. I'm repeating. I've multiplied this 0.99 with this bracket because both have to be multiplied. So I'll multiply and then I'll see what has to be taken that side. So if I do 0.99 into C by 2, I'll get 0.99 C by 2 plus 0.99 into 100. If I do, you'll get 99. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you take 99 that side, 100 minus 99, we'll get it as 1. 0.99 C by 2 is equal to 100 minus 99 plus 99 if I take it that side. So you get 0.99 C by 2 is equal to 1. If we get that 0.99 this side, it becomes C by 2 is equal to 1 divided by 0.99. 1 divided by 0.99 1.01.
1.01.
So C by 2 is equals to 1.01. If I take that to this side, division will become multiplication. So C will be equal to 1.01 into 2.
2.02.
0.02. So this is the half yearly amount or half yearly interest that you're going to receive. Sorry, full yearly because that divide by 2 we bought it this side. Half yearly was 1.01. Now I multiplied it with 2 times in a year. So yearly interest rate is 2.02% that you're going to receive. If you if you divide it by face value, you can find the percentage also. It's the same 2.02% because the face value of the bond is 100. On 100 you're getting 2.02. That means it is 2.02%. Okay, now you see here, this is the par yield 2.02, and we found the zero rate also for bond B, which was 1 year maturity, and that was 2%. Here R2. So when it is 2%, your face value and your market value are not same. They are not at par. Both were different. face value was 100, market value was 99. But if you want to make both of them equal, the interest rate should be 2.02. If you're giving 2.02 interest, face value will be equal to market value. Okay, like this we have to do for the next three bonds also. Bond B we have done. Next to C and D also we have to find the par yield. So we'll continue that in the next class. And next class I have it on Friday, 2 classes. So I'll finish this chapter on Friday because this one sum, there's one more sum below and one more second sum which we have not done. All the three we'll be able to complete in 2 hours class plus little bit of theory. So we'll continue in my next class on Friday. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, you can type your USN numbers and leave the meeting. First, I am still not sure. The college is closed now because of lockdown. All of us are also working from home. But I'll try and inquire today because last time also when we asked, they told to wait for few days. But the situation instead of improving, it is becoming worse. So I'm still not sure, but I'll inform you at the earliest. I'll inquire today also. Once I get to know something, I'll let you know. If any doubts, you all can ask. Otherwise, leave the meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.